not even doing it yet, but they're thinking about doing it. So they're not planning that vacation down the road. They're not planning that big party down the road. So that's all that's happening down, trickling down. People thinking that, not having confidence, and then causing us to be in an even deeper hole.
Well, confidence is a major, major factor. If you don't have confidence that your dollar is going to be secure or the economy is going to improve, then you're going to react and cut back on what you do to save money. I've said on this show many times is that you need at least 6 months worth of living expenses in the bank in order to survive downturns in the economy. Well, we're 2 years into an economic downturn, if you will, and so people have run out of money. And you know, waiting for some good news to come around the corner. I think people have realized, as that poll is saying, it's not coming.
Now, you mentioned that inflation, could far exceed 8% this month. And again, the Fed saying that they may raise interest rates 5 or 6 more times this year. What is that going to do to people who were thinking about maybe they were going to get their first home this year?
Well, what that means is 2 things that the Fed can do. Increase short-term interest rates, which increases the cost of car loans and credit cards and things of that nature. And they're going to also increase the rates. They're talking about, instead of a quarter of a point, a half a point, which is quite severe. And they're looking at almost 2.5% increase at the end of the year. So that's going to increase all our short-term rates at least 3%. But the key thing here is the long-term rates and the bond markets. And the bond market rates are going up. The long-term rates, if there's a 4-point spread between short-term rates, interest rate, and the long-term rate, that's inflation, and that's not good for the economy. So what the Federal Reserve has to do is reduce those long-term rates. Now, the Fed is holding $9 trillion of debt that it's issued, and it's going to start requiring its member banks to buy that debt, which takes money out of the economy. Money's a commodity. Less money in the economy, it becomes more expensive to get higher interest rates. So down the road, what that means for the housing market, it means that there are going to be fewer buyers in the market than there once was. As an example, we've said this before, 1% increase in the interest rates makes a house you could have bought for $800,000 a year ago. Now you can only afford $700,000. So it's going to reduce buyers. If the inventory of housing remains the same, houses should hold their market value. But if the inventory goes up and then you have too much inventory, not enough buyers, housing prices have to come down. So right now, housing prices are holding firm because there's short supply, despite the fact that interest rates are going up. But we're getting into a very dicey time in the economy.
We'll get Marty back in a second. There we go. You back? All right, continue your thought.
Yep, back. Oh yeah. So we're in a dicey. I think I left out. We're in a dicey home market. We hope that the inventory stays where they are and long-term rates don't go up dramatically, because that's going to start impacting what people can get for their homes. And remember, houses are are almost always the most expensive and most valuable asset anybody owns in their life. And so, and a lot of them looking at those housing prices for their retirement. So it's leaving a little bit of wariness in the housing market.